guys, how's it going? That's Pillow. I'm Marcelo. Welcome to Trash Talking, the 2017 Cell Bar. Okay, so we did a game as per usual that I know about. Last episode, this is all Wes. So what are we going over?
We're going over Middle-earth Shadow of War.
Tell me all about it.
I shall. Alright, so a little bit of a spiel before we get into the actual what I saw and all that. They didn't have a playable demo over there, and I was a little bit bummed. I was like, I want to play the game, but instead what they did was they did like a theater room where they showed off some gameplay and all that. And then if you guys know all about it, then it's probably not news to you guys, but I just feel compelled to say it anyway. It was going to come out on this dude's birthday, but then they ended up pushing it back to October 10th.
It's not too. It's like
it's not too bad, and I can see why they're doing it. Like probably for better quality control.
Yeah.
So and this is a cool thing. They didn't show the same playthrough all the time because of, you know, if you played Shadow of Mordor, you know why, because of the unique Nemesis system. So everybody got like a different experience, and some people got more gameplay than others. Mainly they've been showing off
Nemesis system, go.
Alright, so with the Nemesis system, so they streamed them all the days they were there, and so they showed off a lot of gameplay. Namely, it was more of fort assaults, so what we've already been seeing of how the fort assaults work and all that. And so everybody kind of got a little bit different of an experience. Some of them were easy, some of the forts were easy to take down for them. Others were like really hard and they died a couple times, and they showed off different gameplay sometimes, you know, like going after war chiefs or doing like a certain mission, just showing off some stuff. So they didn't show off anything really new. They've just been showing off more of the fort assaults and all that, and kind of showing off a little bit more of the character models and how the characters, especially for the Urukai or the orcs, pretty much. Okay. Like the people that you can take over to
Bruce. Remember Bruce from the trailer?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He has
like
personality.
He's an Olokai. He's a troll. So.
But the whole if I can interject with something real quick, so I have at least something to talk about in this episode. The whole enemies, and it kind of actually does sort of relate to what you're saying about.
Yeah.
What you were starting to talk about. The whole like enemies into friends kind of scenario, mechanic or whatever. Like, was that a thing in Mordor or no?
Mordor is kind of more of you just kind of took guys over. And all that, but apparently this is in game because your character forms a new ring of power. Basically, he can still take over orcs, but now they keep more of their personality, but they like you. And as long as you don't piss them off or do anything, they also have now the capacity to betray you.
Yeah.
And leave your ranks and break the friendship. It's like, you're not my... And, again, same as in Shadow of Mordor, some of their dialogue is oddly sexual. I don't know why.
Oh, God.
But, they do make a lot of, like, sex talk to you in a very ironic way. They're talking about killing you, but they phrase it if they were doing it in a sex way.
Give me an example.
I can't really name an example off the top of my head, but they do it.
Interesting.
But anyway, from what I saw from the trailers, like, especially the one I saw, it's like they did have some new character models and all that, and they kept some of the old models. How some of them looked from Shadow of Mordor, and they clearly did an overhaul on new character designs for the monsters and all that. And they look different and all that. Like some of them have more. There's more variety of them and more classes of them, so they have a lot more variety of them, as well as the tribes, which are more of a kind of not only an aesthetic thing. To where it kind of like the way they look marks them as part of a tribe. There's 7 tribes right now. 2 more, I believe, if you get the DLC, in which I did. And then there's 12 classes. So like some of them, so all the classes do like certain things, and they have like certain weapons. and all that. So, and then they all have different perks, different weaknesses. I do like the changes to the menu that they've shown. The menus and the way they phrase stuff is a lot more clear. Like, instead of like a weird way of saying, oh, this guy is arrow-proof in Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, shoot a guy with an arrow, it just says, oh, he's arrow-proof. So it can't... They would say like range immunity, which is kind of a more complicated way of saying arrow-proof. So they made it a little bit more clear. And the way they did combat and mobility is also pretty interesting and a lot better done too. And from what I've seen, the game does look a lot bigger, and there's a lot more stuff to do. So, again, I didn't get to play it, so I don't really know much more besides that. Again, I was really bummed to hear that there was no gameplay. But I couldn't play the game. Sorry about that.
Back to what you were saying.
Sorry about that. That was the truck again.
Yay. Okay.
Well, anyway, I forgot where I was going.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, like, kind of out of it.
How's the combat?
Combat looks good. I didn't get to play the game, so...
But from what you've seen, like, does it look like they've... Well, I would assume that they'd have to improve at least some things. But, like, does it look more expensive? Or
it does look more expensive, like...
on the same mechanics of the first game?
And they're built upon the same... I imagine they're built upon the same mechanics, but they added more stuff. Like, they added more elemental stuff to it. Like, now, like, your Elven Blast... Your ground pound move, instead of being a basic ground pound, it could do a ground pound that has poison. There's another fucking truck.
There's two. Why is there two? Fuck it, keep going, I'm not gonna try it again.
Okay, sorry about that. But, yeah, no, it's just like random truck day. So sorry if this commentary isn't at its best. But anyway, now you can do like poison blast, you can do a fire blast, I think you can do an ice blast. And you have a little bit more elemental stuff, and with that, it's also expanded on like how some of the orcs are too. Like some of them have a hatred of cold, of frost, or some are very flammable and are weak to fire. And then they also have more RPG elements such as gems, and more cosmetic items that have stats to them. Like, oh, this cape has like 47 stealth. And they have like an unlock challenge. And it has to do with that captain. So if that captain happened to be weak to stealth, and you get a cloak. So to make the cloak better at what it does, it has an unlock challenge that revolves around something with stealth. Like, okay, stealth kill like 5 enemies. And if you do that, then you get like a bonus stat of now you do more damage if you do a stealth attack, and it also offers like another benefit or a bonus saying that all of your assassins do more damage when doing stealth attacks. So it'll offer that benefit to it. And then they also changed some stuff as well, like the enemies that you deal with. If they're too powerful, you can't control them. So let's say like you're a level 24, and the enemy that you're dealing with is like a level 29. You can't take over them. You can't recruit them. So what you have to do is you have to shame them.
Shame them?
That's what it's called. But basically, you break their mind and you power them down. But if you do this a couple times, or if you do it too much, it might have an adverse effect of, making them crazy. So you could drive them mad and change them a little bit. And it's a little bit more dynamic. They did show off some stuff, like especially this cool guy. I don't remember his first name, but he was known by the moniker of the Machine. Basically, this is a guy that you defeated and you cut off all of his limbs. But he was part of a specific tribe called Machine Tribe. They work with machinery and all that. Basically, he's like the $6 million beast man. And now he has like a whole bunch of robotic limbs, robotic legs and all that. To where his moniker now is the Machine. And basically, you made him into the Machine. And he looks fucking cool. So hopefully I get to do that and I get to deal with my own machine.
You sure there's no, they didn't announce any kind of like thing you could download on the store to like experience at all? No kind of demo?
I don't think so.
Story
It's just like, I
something?
have to wait until like,
Is there any kind of story mode-ish stuff they've been showing in campaign?
They have been showing off some story mode stuff. Like, they showed off a couple characters. Two characters of which, one character in which we have never really, like, Tolkien fans have never really seen before. They showed off what is possibly an Entwife, which is a tree person. Like, in the movies, they only really show off the tree dudes. The wives, the Entwives, in which they're called, they disappeared, but we never really seen one. So, so they're possibly showing off one now. So that'd be interesting. And then they're also showing off Spider Lady. I think it's Shiloh from the movies, but we never really seen her have any of these powers before. So they did show off some story stuff, and then your character will grow over time, and you can pretty much take over fortresses and all that. And then what I would love to see is, we've seen a lot of fort assaults where you take over a fortress, but we don't really see a lot of fort defenses, where like an opposing army comes in to try to take your base. So that would be interesting to see. Or I haven't really seen a betrayal yet. So they've been only really showing off one aspect of the game, but there's so much other stuff that they've been talking about, but we haven't really seen. So I'd like to see more of that, and they did kind of show that off a little bit. And like they did go off script a bit during some of the E3 videos that I've seen. Not so much mine, but anyway, other than that, not really much else I could really say. It looks good. I would love to play it. So I can't really judge it off anything. So if you want, we can just kind of go off the verdicts right now.
I guess I can just get mine out of the way.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen much of it. These aren't usually the types of games I play, so for right now, I guess I'll give it somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4. I have to choose one, but fuck it, I just give it a 4, I guess, for right now. I mean, I'm really indifferent. I haven't seen much, and I know that you've told me a lot, and even showed me some of what you did, what you've experienced, and showed me a little bit of how the first game works in the past. Like every so often I will go over and you just show me the game. So I remember like little bits and pieces of what you've shown me, but for this one, I don't know how much different it really, like, you know, besides the cool additions you've been saying on stuff like that, like I'm not sure what else is exactly like new in terms of what have they built off of the first one versus what's like entirely new to this installment. So I mean, it looks cool. I mean, the way you kind of were with them saying like, oh, it looks cool, I might try it out. I'm kind of the same way, I guess, so.
Yeah.
4, I guess.
I'd probably give it a 4. I mean, I love to see more, but there were some issues with like graphics, especially from like the first trailer that they showed. Had a lot better lighting and graphics than what they've shown off in the actual game so far. I'm hoping when it comes out on October 10th, it looks as good as that trailer did. Because the trailer looked really, really amazing from its visual aspects. They did kind of downgrade it a little bit. I mean, it's still, I believe it's still in alpha stages right now. But
yeah, they've got a long way to go. Well, not a long way, but they have quite a way to go.
Yeah, so hopefully the graphics are improved and the game is really fun. But from what I've seen, it's pretty much same old stuff. It's still good stuff. And now that I kind of know how it's going to work more. But until then, it's going to be a 4 out of 5. So.
Ooh. Last minute stuff?
No, that's it.
Cool. So, yeah, that's Shadow of War. I was about to say Mordor in my head. But yeah, so I'm Marcelo.
And I'm tired.
You're just good. Everything to avoid saying your name. And this is Trash Talk. It's the 2017 sub-arc. Yeah, that was a weak snap. Woohoo!